Is it just me, or was that the longest wait between episodes ever? Like, it felt more than 10 days for me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right. It was a little bit longer. Because what was it? Friday we got it?
Yeah,
or?
It was only 3 days longer, but it felt like forever. But the Penguin episode 2 is out. What did you think?
It's still really good. Like, I just finished watching it less than an hour ago, so I'm still kind of compressing it. But yeah, like, still, I was engaged the whole time. I wasn't doing any phone watching, which, even though I'm a big House of Dragon fan, maybe towards the end there, the phone was slipping out at certain bits.
Second screenable enough.
Yes, but this, I was pretty hooked. The Penguin's up to, he's playing like 2 or 3 teams at once.
Yeah, it's a him spinning plates episode.
Yeah, I suppose from the top, where we have Sophia, who's like an antagonist, but also like co-lead, like we're partners, which is a pretty interesting wrinkle. But we open with her flashing back to her Arkham days, and I thought it was quite a cool transition because you see the red line in the vision.
Yeah, I don't know if the red line's a real thing, but
I thought that.
It's at the very least a little bit more comic booky. Like, it's like, this is the super Arkham psychologically, it'll alter your brain so it can do this stuff. That's all I need. I just need little comic booky things.
I imagine there'll be some people who are watching this going, like you kind of more than alluded to last week, of like, why is this a comic book show?
Yes, I got in trouble for that.
I know. Why are we pretending? And I suppose a lesser show, she'd be like, Mr. Strange. Where in this we got a very light, arguably not even a call out of, it's like a no man's land out there.
I only recognize that because you had mentioned last week about the no man's land arc. And I'm like, oh, that's the thing they're talking about. Otherwise, completely innocuous.
So we open on her whole thing. She's still not quite over her brother. Seems to be to me more than simply she loved her brother, but maybe it is just that. It just seems to be. I think
just a very close-knit family as far as I can tell, but this is more of a her-focused episode almost. Like, we get a ton of Penguin stuff.
Yeah.
But they bother to actually go into her, showing us that she is going to be the co-lead. Like, we're probably going to get almost as much of her as we will him.
I keep anticipating either not a full flashback episode, but maybe, or just like flashbacks of the Penguin.
I did think that, but I think we don't need that. I think we'll get some Hangman, some Sophia flashbacks. We'll get more of that. But I don't think we're going to get much Penguin because he seems kind of fully realized. Like, his past matters a lot less to me than his future. Whereas with Sophia, she's a little bit more of a mystery. Like, there's some stuff to play with there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But it's a good dichotomy between the two. So, which is why they're probably going to make, apart from the fact they're both brilliant actors and they play off each other so fucking well.
It's hard to believe it is Colin in there. Like, you do completely forget.
It's an interesting dichotomy between the two of them because he's very much good at adapting and moving things. Like, he's always in his own head.
Clear in this episode, verbally.
And she's much more impulsive. So, like, he'll think something's through, and he's very good on his feet, which I guess they did in episode 1, but I think it's more clear here.
It kind of thrives off it. I've seen the gangstery shows that this is kind of alluding to. So far, it's just doing the gangster beat stuff pretty well. Like, we had a bloody funeral.
Yeah. This one, more to me than the first one, was much more gangster focused. Like, this was more the premise for me. I don't know. I really liked episode 1, but this one gave me more of what the show was going to be about instead of just like reintroducing Penguin that, again, to me felt pretty realized.
And I like that it's almost a problem of the week. And this week's problem was a botched job that, like at the start, that the Penguin has, where he's just kind of throwing the Maronis a bone, basically, and then ends up getting entangled in it.
He's the titular double agent or inside man.
I mean, when you were saying, is he evil enough? Well, I think in this, we're killing people, we're getting in the position, we're saving one guy to set him up to die later, and then the whole bit at the end where he's like, plans change.
Completely self-serving.
Yeah, completely.
But he still does have that little spark of like, he not a good dad, that's an awful way to put it, but to Victor, where he's teaching Victor lessons. He doesn't need Victor. I guess it's hard to tell whether he's doing a self-serving thing of like, he wants Victor to respect him and it's like an easy mark. So like, Victor definitely respects him. So he's like, that's why he's keeping him around. Or if he's keeping him around because he reminds him of a young him.
Those are just a practical, I can't get around well, so it'd be nice just to have someone.
And also it's helpful for us, the audience, where we get like the new guy, fresh eyes.
Explain all this to you. Good point.
And someone that he can completely trust so he can just spout his backstory. Like, yeah, I don't need a flashback with him when in casual conversation he can drop how he got to where he is.
I keep expecting a twist that eventually Victor gets wise and tries to double cross Ozzy, and then Ozzy has to put him down. Yeah, eventually.
I hope if they do that, he's grown a little bit more attached. We get a little bit of him having to put it down, like, I'm sorry, but this is what has to happen.
Yeah, like it's a lesson of like he's allowed himself to get close with a henchman or an underling, and maybe that's the weakness, is that you can't get close with people because people will try and fuck you over.
Yeah. Well, the job basically immediately goes wrong.
It goes wrong because, like a bit of comedy of errors where one guy's still alive, that guy gets shot, then it leans forward.
Well, he feels like he planned for everything. The job would have gone off without a hitch. But then Vidi, the closest to his arch nemesis we get, rocks up and says, Penguin, and you see him just drop immediately. Like, Penguin in this world is...
An insult.
They did it in Gotham too. I like it because it's not exactly a nice thing to be called, and then it leaves it open for, like, he uses that as his moniker later because he's like, no, you know what, I am the Penguin, fear that name. Vidi rocks up, tells him, get in the back of the truck, it's your job, and he's like, but again, that's their first improvisation, and it's very good because he just seeing him like watching in the rearview mirror,
he positions himself,
tells his joke. He's a personable guy. He's good with the lads, but I'd forgotten that the bald guy was the one who tortured him.
Yeah.
For a few seconds, I'm like, why are they not friends? But then I'm like, oh, that's that guy.
Which kind of explains why he puts it on him.
Yes. Oh, in my favorite moment. We'll get to that. There's not too much to say about most of these episodes in like the long
funny
format.
to say, isn't it?
I think it's because we're so used to talking about House of the Dragon where we've got 6 or 7 storylines going on.
That's it. With this,
and
it's
in
one
this
or two.
one, it's like, oh, we have the Penguin and we have Sophia. And everyone around them is definitely supplementary.
Which is so weird that this is, even though there's plenty of shows doing it, it's just kind of novel to have a show where even like the $230 million masterpiece, The Acolyte, had multiple flashbacks, flash forwards, multiple POVs.
Well, I mean, even Agatha Harkness, the new show, she's just as much the main character as everyone else. Like, she doesn't really get any more screen time. She's just more of in a leadership role, per se. So it's like, it's still very much we're going to have to go through the backstory of 4 other women as well as Agatha, and then she's also got her own long past. Whereas with this, it's just like, I know who Penguin is. Yeah, it's interesting.
And I like that you've brought up that he does seem fully formed. It feels like, did you ever watch Better Call Saul?
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people went into that first season like, oh boy. And that first season's a slow burn. It's great, but it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
And then when you get into season 2 and 3 and you start realizing that Mike is just as much as the main character as Saul here, and you get to get the gangster stuff through Mike. With this though, it feels like the equivalent of like a season 2 or 3.
Yes. Or even just him in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, like it feels like we're already there. Yeah, it's like there hasn't been that 1 or 2 seasons where Oz has broke bad. He's already there. Like, and I guess that's just down to that he's Carmine Falcone's right-hand man.
He's relatively simple. He's a bit of a stereotype. He's an archetype. So you can drag in all that knowledge. Like, you can take the Goodfellas guy and you're like, oh, I know what that character is. It's easier for us to lead into.
Along with, in the comics, we've been known for making trick umbrellas, which I doubt we'll get in this.
I hope at least one, I don't know, maybe he just uses an umbrella in a funny way, might be their callback.
He hides a gun under an umbrella.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, he just has his handgun and then he's got the umbrella and he's like, bang.
I don't know what language them around. I don't have an ear for it.
Especially when Agadashlu is saying it.
Eastern European. It's not Italian.
It's called smoker's lung.
Yeah.
That's that accent.
That's it.
It sounded Eastern European, and then occasionally it sounded Italian.
Or German.
And they're the Maronis. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. As long as there's subtitles, I'm happy.
I thought, because he's the Penguin and he maybe plays on the fact that he doesn't look like the smartest guy with his accent, I was thinking he probably knows what they're saying. He probably knows their language.
It would be an interesting thing to have, like, or at least get the keywords. Like, if your enemy is able to, like, whisper, that seems like a bad thing.
I'd say his only weakness as a character, because I was worried he was maybe a bit of a too perfect, but he's messing up in, like, he was too eager. I think he overplays his hand to the Maronis. I suppose, I didn't know if you were going to bring it up, the new Don is just kind of here now. It's not really a problem at all. We need someone there to be a figurehead, so... Because
this show does slow down so much, I don't want them to get too caught up in stupid things. Like, I'd rather they spend the time on character and don't waste my time with giving me a detail for every little thing.
Yeah.
Like, use your slow pace for actual character work, which they're doing, which is good.
It's like a royalty thing. Oh, well, the son's dead, so I'll have to go to the last king's brother.
That's what they're playing off, yeah, because Sophia also has the thing that no one takes her seriously, but it's because she's a woman, not because she's fat and has a hobble.
It's weird how he doesn't have a cane, which I think I'm waiting for someone to say that he doesn't want a cane because it makes him look weak, but someone will say eventually, having a cane actually makes you look fucking pimp.
Yeah, you look cool as hell. And he's like, and I also hate when it rains. What if... umbrella cane.
That's
It'll be one thing. A character will be like, here, Oz, and they'll hand him an umbrella in the rain, and
I
he'll be
hope
like,
it's not that.
I like this.
You know, like in Sherlock when he puts on the dumb hat. Like in this, I don't think they're going to do the low-hanging fruit of him in like a jewel shop and like trying on a monocle or something. Like, you know, shit like that.
Oh, he'll put glasses on, an explosion will go off, and it'll crack half his glass. Or he'll get punched in the face, and only one of the glasses will stand.
It could work if you do it in some way.
I hope they do, because it'd be funny, but also I'd make fun of it. Like, I'd be like, that was stupid. But also, a little part of me would be like,
yeah. I think, if anything, he's maybe too eager to get his plans going, because he tells the Maronis, Luca's he's a pussy, I got his ear, I'm in his ear, and he's not. Luca, I don't even think directly speaks to Penguin.
Not at all. And it's the same thing in the first episode when he's in the room talking to Vidi and the other guys, and he's just like, oh, I've got new drugs. Like, he'll grab onto anything he can when he's out of options, which is what he does when he's about to get shanked in the restaurant. He's like, oh, the only thing I have is this one note on me. It might work.
That's such a nitpick, because I think the dialogue and the acting in this is so good. It's so smooth. And I'm speaking to the quality of the show here with this little, it's barely a nitpick. When that woman, Smoker's Lung, goes, let's see what he has.
Yes, you would.
I was like, do I need that? I was wanting just a simple, like, just a little head nod.
Yeah.
And that is me just speaking, because overall I think this is so far a very well written show.
I just thought, would you really just shank a man? Like, he screwed up one time. I get they don't fuck around. It's just funny that, she's like, you lied to me a little bit. I'm going to stab you in a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Jesus.
I just don't think I like that whole cliche of like, I'm going to get you. And it's like, oh, I've got something important.
You don't have time. If you said, wait a minute, and I was about to stab you, I'd stab you.
The fact that he says, wait a minute, and then they stop. It's like, well, you would say that.
This is just so that we don't get called shills or like paid by.
Yeah, super nitpicky.
The only other thing I'd say is he stabs the guy to keep him quiet, and there's zero blood all over his hand. Like, he wipes his fingers a little bit, and you see him like burying that knife around.
Yeah, really deep.
Everything would be covered in blood.
Yeah, it'd be all over him, yeah.
So that's just so we don't get called shills. Back to loving the show. The whole episode is mainly him dealing with plates. Like, he has to go to the funeral for Alberto, and then his mum has a little dementia attack, so he has to go do that, which means he's late, which means he then has to lie about the fact that he was standing in the back, but he knows how to play people well enough that he can get Sophia on side.
A nice way to move around a funeral as well, because those things would be expensive, having 50 people in suits.
The show's pretty good with its budget. I hope it didn't cost too much. If it didn't cost too much, I think it looks fantastic.
It visually overall feels very much in line.
Yeah, but they haven't needed big set pieces because it's a talkie, and like that's what we're doing. So I hope to God it didn't cost too much. But if it didn't, fantastic. Great use of budget. Great use to get away with it. Like, you don't need the inside of a shirt. You just need a little window.
I like that it shows that he's maybe a little bit too eager, like, because he's there with the guys he's getting. He goes, hey, I got something for you. And
yeah.
He's
like middle of broad daylight.
Yeah, he's
and also just how little he is cared for. Like, the guy's just like looks at him and is like, oh, it's just Oswald.
He knows he's on a bit of a tight walk here. He just wants to get things moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's pushing for stuff. There's the bit before where he has the ladies of the night. So he's like trying to get the guys on
like
side.
Best friends with them. Yeah.
Yeah, and he brings them in, and then we have the whole bit with Vic and like the cam girl, because we get a little, because like that's two moments where, because Vic, when they're bringing the tacos into the apartment, sees them missing.
Yes.
Like, it even emphasizes, we cut to it, and I thought, oh, is he missing?
I think we're going to get a Vic's family flashback
died
at some
in
point.
The flood or something.
Yeah, and like, or his current family is worried about him, but it seems like he has some freedom. He's not with Cobb 24/7.
I saw this mad comment someone made saying, I know will not be it because it's not that type of show, but the twist reveal that Vic is like Jason Todd. And like sent out by Bruce Wayne. Like, what a mental reveal that would be, but it will not be the case.
We've been conditioned to be afraid of like you should use your full name. I like it. Robin. That's what we've been conditioned to expect. Just out of nowhere. Victor's stutter, it's definitely more pronounced in this episode. Like, he did it like one time when he was nervous. Yeah, so now he's very much nervous. So again, I'm wondering whether he's taken pity on him, because I guess it's just all of the things rolled into one.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, even though I'm a massive fan of Batman, there's a lot of it, so I don't know if there is if
they're referencing anyone. I'd say he's original.
The mum stuff is to remind us that, he's not just a dark villain operating because he just wants money. He's operating out of this like childhood. It comes from a personal thing of him probably being the little disabled brother.
Yeah, the mum's horrible line of, if my sons are nothing, what does that make me?
Exactly.
I'm like, ooh.
And he in the eldest brother was probably the favourite.
Actually, if we do get a flashback, I wouldn't be shocked if Oswald couldn't save him. Like, Oswald needed to move quickly.
Or Oswald let him die.
Oh, maybe he did let him die because he had a moment of conflict of, you're my brother, but you were mean to me. Oh no, it's too late.
And he's a bit crazy.
But they do show him throwing around money a lot this episode, paying people off, or just like handing over extras to show that he's well off, but then having his mum say, if my sons are nothing, so he's not rich enough. So like, she's in this little house, she doesn't have a real nurse.
And then we get the reveal that people are under the impression his mum is dead, because when he's talking to Sophia and she asks him, you went dancing with your mother? And he goes, something about, she asks him for a follow-up and he goes, she died a few years ago, I never asked her.
Yeah, well, you don't want weaknesses. You got to make sure that no one can find her.
Different car whenever he goes to visit her.
Yeah.
So, yes, obviously that's going to be there, that someone eventually learns that his mum's there. Explains why he hasn't got her in a home, even though you'd think putting her in a home under a different name where he's privately paying would be
It could also
safe.
be he doesn't have quite enough money, because homes are expensive.
True.
So like, yeah, maybe he's well off enough to like give the girlfriend extra cash to shout all his friends stuff, but like 80 grand a year to put his mum in a home, that's a little too tight on the old mafia budget.
He's also probably, he's a cash in hand man. He probably hasn't got much of a bank account.
Yeah, well, we see his apartment isn't lavish. Like,
no, it's nice.
It's like his car. It's nice.
It's also not in like the greatest area. It's in Gotham.
Doesn't have a real driver. He only has Victor.
Yeah, I also think that's part of it too, that he likes the, I have a driver. I did like with Sophia, listen to the radio, we get, not that this Batman is a highly organised like Grant Morrison Batman of the comics, but we get that, crimes went up 42% and da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
So it kind of is explaining why one man in like army gear isn't rocking up to ask the Penguin what he's up to.
Yeah, there's a disaster, so people are more desperate, so more crime, they can take advantage. And that Sophia was the hangman, and she's been released after killing 7 women. But she's got some kind of trauma because she was scratching her neck.
And she sleeps in her wardrobe.
Yeah, so what came first?
I imagine she sleeps in a wardrobe because it reminds her of a cell. She's weirdly comforted by being...
True. Yeah, the windows were pretty blacked out.
Yeah, we see her with her cousin, who's really like all friendly with her.
Very obviously fake, but not like, hey girl. It was just like she wanting to reconnect, but with an ulterior motive. But then, yeah, the daughter rocks up, and then you can obviously tell that the mum holds her closer, and then Sophia snaps to it immediately and is like, oh, so you don't actually like me. You're just trying to get me on side.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether the women that were murdered were younger women, and that, or like, but you would say girls on the radio if you're like, she murdered
but
girls.
It's women,
Yes.
girls, yeah.
So it's why the cousin isn't afraid for her own life.
We're just putting on a smiley face for 2-3 minutes because I'm not really going to see you after this. So.
But she called her over, like, so I'm not sure why, but it was a good scene still. Like, it's good to see that people are afraid of Sophia.
Exactly. And then Sophia's big thing is she gets the Maroney, he's the one who entered the truck initially and then got shot by the driver.
Harvey Bullock.
Is that Harvey Bullock?
It's got to be. It's a corrupt
they
detective.
Didn't name him, did they?
No name at all. But he's a corrupt detective with a grey beard, and he's an addict.
Almost comical when he like rocks up with the,
Well, hopped up, I'd say. So like, I think that's what it was. He's like, he was on drops, had a bright idea of, I'll just take him. I'll just take this hospital patient.
Hopped out of his mind. It shows that Sophia maybe isn't quite, she's organised, but she as you said, she's too eager, she's too emotional.
She's compulsive, very reactionary.
So,
but not an idiot.
Not an idiot. So, old Penguin figures out where he is, and then I forget what it is. He wants Vic to plant jewels in the car of, is it?
Of Vidi.
Doug Stamper.
The jewels that Alberto went to the Iceberg Lounge to get. So if he had them, that means he was with Alberto on the night of the murder. So that's that little connection there.
But those jewels turn up, don't they?
Yes, they turn up in the Fall Guy's car.
They put it in the Fall Guy.
Yeah, because his car wouldn't be guarded, because he's just a henchman. We don't guard his car.
So Penguin was really trying to move and take out
He wanted VT gone.
Because then he wanted to insert himself as probably that man next to the new Don.
I assume so. That would be my only other nitpick is there's no...
You're playing too much Shadow of Mordor.
Maybe. I want him to work up the ranks. Because with, like, the King's Council in House of Dragon, you can worm your way into the council. Like, you can get yourself to become king. Whereas with this... how do you make everyone accept that you're the head of the family?
I think Penguin's obviously assuming, going off the comic logic, I think his eventual realization will be, fuck both the families.
Start his own.
It's just about me being the fucking Penguin.
If we end up on that point, I think I'll be happy. But that's what I mean. It's just a little... There's no clear progression of what his next move is. Like, if he gets rid of Edie, why would they get him in the place? Because he's not any more trusted.
Yeah.
And are they like, oh, we have to get this guy?
Well, no, I guess his plan is to rule alongside with Sophia.
Currently,
So she's the bloodline he attaches to.
Yeah.
It's because we've got House the Dragon on the mind, but also same overall.
Yeah, I'm sure they wanted that. And like you said, Game of Thrones was Soprano in Middle-earth. So it's just a little vague on how he's going to get there, but I assume you're right, and he's going to be like, actually, I do have enough guys, I have enough money, I have this new drug business. So that'll be an interesting end for it.
It's interesting because I don't really know where the show's going to go, which is what's really cool about it.
It's cool, and that's my issue. Like, it's like I need a goal other than just like, I want to be respected with money.
I suppose, we need a little bit, or like more groundwork in the motivation stuff. Like, why is this the thing we're doing? Like,
it's the goal. I need $100,000 to put my mum in a home, which is what Breaking Bad did. He needed a certain amount of money, but once he got that money, then it got out of control. It's the lie he tells himself.
The lie the protagonist believes.
Yeah.
Other than just, well, the Penguin, we want to be in charge.
Respect and money, please.
Yeah, which feels like the cover-up to a deeper, darker, I never got mine, I never got my respect.
Yeah.
Which is, we can compare it to Breaking Bad because it definitely wants to be compared to these great crime shows.
Yes.
Where when they were, I was so surprised to learn that with Breaking Bad, they were kind of Discovery writing it.
Yes. Like, Jesse Pinkman couldn't have lived past one.
And same with Better Call Saul. They kind of had a rough idea where they were going, but when they got to the party where he goes to his billionaire friend who runs the company he helped start, and they go, well, the billionaire friend, being a billionaire friend, would just offer him a job, look after him. But then we won't have a show because most normal people would swallow their pride, accept the job, and know that their family's going to be looked after. So what is it about Walter White that makes him go, fuck you? And it's because Walter has a innate hatred of charity or any kind of, he needs to be this Atlas Shrugged and Randian, I made it myself type character.
He wants to be the one that's remembered, kind of like
it should
he
be did
his
it
name.
all by himself. It should be his name. And I wonder if that's something with this character we're going to have where he has to get it by himself or something like that. Like, it needs to be him. I'm waiting for that his mum probably fucking hated him.
Yeah.
And now he's looking after her for some way. And she was, we've already got hints that she was at least verbally abusive. You know, tell that to my tombstone.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even a nitpick that we're talking about there. It's just because it's episode 2.
Yeah.
Like, they have so much time to fix it.
Yeah.
So,
We're just thinking because so far the groundwork is great. I just want to know where we're building to. And I do think it's a little bit, the whole, he's got this new shipment of drugs coming in. It just feels a little bit too vague. And I'm here thinking it's not going to be fucking, it's not going to be something obvious and lame like Venom.
No, that'd be Arrow. That'd be CW.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we've got new
or
drugs.
Like the fear toxins.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. It just feels a little bit too, we're bringing in this new shipment of drugs that's going to take over the game. It just feels a little too vague, and I need to know what that is.
Do drugs work like that?
It feels a bit MacGuffin-y.
A new beer comes out, people don't freak out.
It's so weird to not have a strong opinion on it. When I was driving over it, I was like, yeah, it's really good.
I give the first 2 episodes an 8. I'm not like, oh, I'm like,
That's
this is
it.
pretty good.
Breaking Bad's incredible from episode 1.
Yes.
And it continues to be incredible. There's not really a slouchy
But also,
episode.
did you watch it weekly?
I watched it weekly by the last 2 seasons, but I binged the rest of it, so I know that's probably part of it.
I think I'd love this show even more as a binge because I'd be like, give me more. Like, I'd watch another one.
There you go, I'd watch another one. And I was engaged. Like, when he kills the guy, they get all lined up, and he kind of is anticipating this.
Because Vic screws up and can't get the jewels in the car, he can no longer just get the guy to say, oh, it was Vidi, because he's smart enough to realize that one guy saying one thing isn't enough to turn people's opinions, so you need evidence. So he's like, okay, both of them
say Vidi,
seemingly unrelated.
Yeah,
that'd be the clincher. Whereas now he's like, well, sorry, buddy, I've got to kill you now. Stabs the absolute shit out of him. Barely any blood in his hand. So that I was like, okay, whatever. Especially because he's there in a white tux.
Yeah, like bloody hitman. Like he gets out of there.
I love the way he got everyone else to realize that the guy was downstairs. He walks up to Vidi and he's like, "So don't worry, guys. I already know. And
does it in such a way that like they still all sort of underestimate him in a way that like he was just.
They think he's just being Oswald Cobb.
Yeah, Carmine's weird little whipping boy that he kept around, and that almost, why is he still here type attitude. And yeah, so when he does that, brings them up, and you think he's going to plant the knife on
Johnny Vidi. I was so ready to be annoyed at that because I'm like, this genius level intellect, Oswald Cobb, quick on his feet, is about to get caught because he has a knife. Well, he shouldn't have had the knife on him. That's stupid. But then they show him hiding it, and then he purposely gets in a fight with Vidi, and I'm like, okay, he's at least trying to hide it, but that's still stupid because our genius Oswald Cobb wouldn't just put the knife on the guy he fought with, because then you could just say, I just had a fight, like you just saw him attack me. How stupid is everyone?
But then they put it on him.
Put it on, oh God, I forgot his name.
The Baldy.
Yeah, they put it on Bald Henchman. Okay, you got me there, that's good.
And then I suppose it's good because I was thinking that this was a little bit too, there was no struggle. Like he's clever, but he's maybe...
He's too far ahead?
Sometimes it can feel, I suppose that's something that I'm conscious of going in, that even though obviously he's a supervillain, but since we're going so grounded with this, it's the idea that this guy is so clever, it's like everyone is a little bit slower to make him seem cleverer.
Which they're not doing. And I'm so happy because I think it was a moment he had with Sophia where he tries to play her and she picks up on it immediately. It's like, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
And then just walks away.
Yeah, when he tries to move on her saying like, you owe me or I owe you, yeah.
I keep relating all my shows together, but Celebrimbor being tricked by Sauron, and Celebrimbor, after anything Sauron says, was like, oh, that makes sense. Like everyone in all of Eregion was like, Sauron is making sense. Like he's spitting facts. Whereas with this, everyone's just like, shut up. Like you're not manipulating someone if they're just an idiot.
And he's kind of forced Sophia towards him because now like Sophia's like right-hand man who she definitely can trust has now seemingly betrayed her.
Yes, if anything, it worked out better for him.
Vic fucked up because Oz pushed him to do something he definitely wasn't prepared to do. I mean, going into the private car park of like the Falcones is really weird and silly, and shows that this character isn't a perfect foolproof planner. Oh yeah, I guess we can have the Breaking Bad comparison because he kind of has a Jesse Pinkman.
He's got a Jesse Pinkman that will,
in some ways
he'll trust him because he thinks he's smart.
Yeah,
or like he sees something in him.
But then he has him lie down on top of the bodies as like a life lesson of like, which is fucked up.
It gave me big, I'm going to throw my child into the water and be like, I know you can swim.
Yeah.
Like, you're better than this.
Yeah, you've got to be wise to this.
Yeah, a stepdad that abuses you, but you're like, oh, he's trying to force them to grow.
Yeah.
Which isn't a good thing. I'm just saying that's the vibe they're giving.
Exactly. Yeah, I think overall it has the potential to be a really, really good show.
Or a 5 out of 10 from my gym.
Yeah, I think these 2 episodes, I mean, as we said, like, consider it's 8 episodes. It's both somehow so far moving along pretty quick, but also taking its time. And I think it's down to the fact that it's more or less about 1 or 2 people rather than 8.
It's crazy. So, we've had so much screen time. Like, I'd like to see the Penguin screen time versus, like, Galadriel or even Rhaenyra.
Penguin had more screen time in 2 episodes than, maybe not Rhaenyra, although he probably isn't far off.
No, easily way more than Rhaenyra.
The 8 episodes of season 2 to Rhaenyra time.
I'm going to head to Reddit, and it's probably going to be right there. And it's whoa.
I imagine it's pretty...
It'll be shocking. Yeah, it'll be the exact same. And they're both on the posters of their respective shows.
Small note as well, probably because they want to get the most time possible. The title credits are just a transition, more or less.
Penguin.
We're in the streaming era now. We don't, skip intro's a thing.
Yeah.
As nice as it is sometimes to watch.
It can help set up the vibe, but I think in this, that also is the vibe, is they're like, no bullshit. This is what we're doing.
We're a very enthusiastic, like, 8 out of 10. This is real 8 out of 10. It's like IGN 8 out of 10.
This is the best thing on TV at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy.
Apart from RuPaul's Drag Race UK. That's not even a joke. Fucking love RuPaul's Drag Race.
That's a 10 out of 10?
Oh, always.